Hey everybody, it's Hussein Kabani, your favorite broker. All right, we're still outside. We're enjoying the weather. What can we say? We've got a question from Ahmed, and Ahmed has purchased a resale property, and upon closing and going to the property, he's actually found some damage from the previous owner that wasn't there when he purchased the property or put an offer that got accepted on the property. What is he gonna do? Well, that's the question. Ironically enough, we had a closing in Oshawa for a townhouse, and we ended up in the same situation my buyers did, where the induction stovetop is actually cracked. So what are we gonna do? These are two situations, and let me backtrack a little bit. So when you actually write the purchase agreement, or your agent writes a purchase agreement, there's two things I wanna draw your attention to. One of them is that in the clauses, they're gonna write in a Schedule A that all of the chattels and fixtures are the things that are gonna be included with the property, like the appliances, lighting fixtures, window coverings, that type of stuff. They all have to be in good working condition on the day of closing. So that's how the condition is kind of written. On the day of closing. The next day, it's not their problem. On the day of closing, everything has to be in good working condition. The second thing is that in the Schedule A, your agent should also be writing something about having revisits to the property. So typically we put 2 or 3 revisits to the property. So once the offer is accepted, if you get lucky enough to do a home inspection or whatever, that won't count as your revisit. But after the deal is firm and you're definitely in contract, a firm contract to purchase the property, you get to revisit the property 2 times. I tell all my buyers, one time we can go whenever you want to go, just give me a little bit of a heads up so we can arrange, go do your measurements, figure out how you want to decorate the place. The second and the last visit, I usually want to do just before the closing. Chances are the previous owners have moved out, or there's very little things left in there. And either way, I want to go in there the day before closing just to kind of test everything, make sure everything works. This actually had a lot more value 2 years ago, because 2 years ago, there was something that we were able to do with the lawyer, which was called a holdback, okay? So you buy a property for $600,000 and you feel that there's $1,000 damage between the dishwasher and a stovetop, whatever the thing is. You could basically tell your lawyer, hey, here's pictures, here's video, this is damage, and we bought this property for $600,000 and there's about $1,000 worth of damage. Your lawyer on the closing day would send over $599,000 and hold back $1,000 and tell the buyer or the seller's lawyer that says, hey, there's damage, here's a proof, and we're sending you this amount. Now, it would become up to the seller's lawyer if they want to take that money and close the transaction. So at least you have your money there safe that you can actually go and make those corrections with. Now, what has happened is you're not allowed to actually close and hold back. Now what you have to do is you have to close in protest. So it basically means that, okay, I'm closing because I have to close, because the damages that I'm looking at are not big enough. And if you try not to close on that transaction, you'll actually be in breach of contract. So you go ahead, you close in protest. What that does is it allows an opening for you to go back and actually sue the previous owner of the property for the damages. Now, guys, is this going to be worth it? I don't know, probably not. I guess it just depends on how hurt you feel about it and how big the damage actually is. If it's something that's $300, $500, I'm not sure how much time you actually want to put into this. There may be an avenue to try to resolve it between the agents and get them to cooperate and figure out a solution with that. Other than that, guys, like I just want to be very blunt with you, because that it is what it is. You're on your own unless you're willing to go back and sue somebody. You can do all the checks you want to do, but the day that you get the keys and your lawyer has transferred over the money, you're kind of on your own, and you got to make that decision if you want to go to court or not. Kind of sucks. I was playing around with the idea and even thinking that, hey, when I put out purchase agreements for my buyers, maybe I'll put a clause in there that basically says that, hey, the buyer is going to hold back $2,500 on closing to do a final inspection when they get the keys, and then if that final inspection is okay, then we'll release the other $2,500. I was thinking about doing that, but it doesn't make sense, I don't think, because what the seller is going to do is, okay, well, add that $2,500 to your purchase price, because either way, I'm not going to be out. So I think these are some things that you got to take into consideration when you're purchasing resale, and you got to say, hey, there might be something that's damaged over here. Even if you try your best to make sure it's not, there might be something that is. All right, guys, hope that shed some light on how the closing process works if you guys find some damages with the homes that you have purchased. If you have any specific questions or this situation has happened to you, I'd love to hear about it. Leave me a comment, send me a DM. Other than that, guys, I would love it if you like this. Share it with your friends, leave me a comment, let me know what you guys thinking about these videos. Until next time, remember one thing, get Kabani, get sold.
Sell it, sell it, sell it, sell it, sell it, sold. Sell it, sell it, sell it, sell it, sell it, sold. Sell it, sell it, sell it, sell it, sell it, sold. Sell it, sell it, sell it, sell it, sold.